Hello, everybody. This is what to do during week 6. Now, for week 6, we finished our test last week. That means we're moving into if statements a little more thoroughly now. We are going to talk a bit about nested and compound ifs, which are a little bit more complicated than the regular ifs we covered the last week or so. Because it's going to be an if inside of an if, or multiple things we have to check for an if to be true or false. So we've got some lecture videos there, so make sure you check those. We have a book assignment, which is basically just you going through practicing some of the ifs. And you can check that out there. It's the same as the last book assignment. You go to the red shelf, go to those pages, copy those programs into your IDE, and then, make sure they run and work, and then submit them for me. And there is also a program this week, and that is your first program for if statements. You had your first kind of by yourself program a week or so ago, the toy store. And now you get your second, which is essentially from this point on, we're going to have a 10 point, 20 point, 30 point, kind of that cycle each week. So the 10 point is something very specific to what we're doing. This one requires if statements and some user input. That's essentially it. If you need to figure out how to do that, look back at the projects, or not the project, well, the projects that we built. Look back at the lectures where we went over if statements and user input. Those are the two things you'll need for this. Pretty simple. It really doesn't take more than, 10 to 20 lines of code for this. The 10 point is always pretty simple and to the point. Then we have our 20 point, which is a little bit bigger, has a few more parts and pieces to it. And then the 30 point will be the program that gets consistently bigger throughout the entire semester. Because it's going to cover everything we've covered the entire semester all in one project. So, the last one was variables, input, and print, doing some basic math and stuff. The next 30 point will be all those things along with some like compound nested if stuff. And then of course the next 30 point will involve loops and things like that, along with all the other stuff. So it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but hopefully by then you've gotten better at programming. So, you're not going to get any more time for those projects. But like I said, you should be better at programming and should be able to do it faster. So you don't need more time for those. But they will be longer projects as we go throughout the semester. And for those who go through Programming 2, which if you're in MIS or Computer Science, you need Programming 1 and 2. I know some of the degree plans say just like Programming on it, just 1. And then you have a whole bunch of one section is like nothing but electives in some of these degree plans. If you are MIS or Computer Science, or any of those two at least, you will take Programming 1, Programming 2. If you're Computer Science, you'll also take Data Structures, which is Programming 3. And then generally you'd want to take one more programming class. It could be C++, which is this one here. It could be, of course there's C++2. Those count as Programming 1, 2. There's several different varieties we have. We have Python 1, 2. We have C++ 1, 2. So you have a pretty much a choice there. But you definitely need, more than one programming language, generally speaking, even if you're computer information systems. If you're science, you definitely need like 3 or 4. And we have also Visual Basic and a couple other things to choose from. And for those questions like what should I take, when should I take it, you talk to your advisor, which could be me or it could be somebody from Senatobia. It depends. But we'd be more than happy to answer those questions if you have any. Anyway, the project is due this, of course, at the end of this week. Don't mind the dates. I haven't really adjusted them yet. But it's due the same time it always is, Sunday, midnight. Do not wait until the last second to try to do it. The 10 points a little lighter and a little bit easier. But if you get in the habit of waiting until, like, let's say, the day before it's due, you will get into a situation where you don't know how to do something or you run into an error and you message me late at night and it's the next day, maybe morning when I respond to you, and you're doing something and you don't have enough time to fix the issues. So always try to at least start or work on something as early as possible. That way you don't run into those kind of issues. Well, anyway, that is what you have to do this week. You have your 10-point project, you have your book assignment, and of course some lectures to go through, which you should open those lectures up and copy the code and run them and make sure they work. And if you have any questions or issues with any of that, message me, call me, drop by my office, and I'll be happy to help.